In today's video, we're going to be repotting this Brassavola orchid. This one happens to be Little Stars. The repotting and many stories coming up at The Orchid Hut. Welcome back to The Orchid Hut. My name is Dana and thank you for joining me today in a repot video for this Brassavola orchid. Now this one happens to be Little Stars, and then a name that I am not at all going to attempt to pronounce. So hopefully the camera can focus on that, and if not, I will type it in when I'm editing the video. And this particular orchid does extremely well in my growing environment. It spends the growing season outdoors. It can tolerate all of the heat and humidity of Southeast Texas. And then during the winter, it comes in and has its blooming season. Now, as you can tell, I have not cut away any of the bloom spikes from this past blooming season. And I'm going to do that today. I think there were 10, 11, maybe even a dozen different spikes on this particular plant. And it did really, really well. Towards the end of the growing season, I moved it so that it was getting just the tiniest bit more light without getting sunburned. And the leaves did turn sort of that purplish color that indicates anthocyanin is at work, and also indicates that the plant is getting adequate light. And I do believe that's why this plant had such a prolific blooming season over the winter. So I'm going to cut these off and count them, because I never did really count the bloom spikes when it was blooming. There were just really too many. So that's one. And you know, this is a good thing to do before we try to repot it anyway. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, spin it around here, 9, 10, 'There's also some of the dried blooms still caught down inside the plant. 11, 12. Oh my goodness, there may have been more than a dozen. 13. 14. Wow, there were 14 separate bloom spikes on this plant. It really was gorgeous when it was blooming over the winter inside the house. Okay, so this orchid has been in my collection for a number of years. I didn't exactly go look it up in my spreadsheet, but I know I've had this one probably for 6 or 7 years. I have repotted it once before, and it has been in this pot probably for a good 3 years. It's time for a repot. Plus it's, you know, actually outgrowing the pot. You can see the root system down in there is really, really jam-packed. And the other thing about this is that this particular plastic pot is starting to become brittle, and pieces of it are breaking away. So it's getting a little bit more difficult to handle because the pot is kind of falling apart. So, you know, it's a good time to do this and then get this one back outside for the growing season. All of my other orchids are already outside now for a couple of weeks. I did have to bring them back in for one of the cooler spells that we had, but they're all back outside now. As soon as this one gets repotted, that's where this one will go as well. And take a little break here. I'm going to get some paper towel out on the counter, and I'll be right back with the supplies we need to start repotting. Okay, be right back. Okay, so back for the repot here. We're going to be using Repot Me's Cattleya Imperial Orchid Mix. I have thrown in just the tiniest bit of extra charcoal just because I had some left over and I thought, may as well mix it in here and let that be used in this particular repot. And I have a larger round pot this time. Previously used pot, stained, but still a good pot, and it's not brittle like the one that the orchid is currently in. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this out. Hopefully it's not going to make a gigantic mess. It might be a bit challenging, and I will tell you what I already see. You know, there are so many roots that have gone through the holes in the bottom of the pot that I do feel like I'm going to really have to cut that away before this is going to give up here and come out of the pot. All of those little roots that have grown through just act like hooks and really secure that orchid in the pot and provides a lot of resistance. And you know, this pot may just crack in my hands as I'm trying to do this because it is pretty brittle. And I can't remember the last time an orchid was so wedged inside this pot. It is dry. I haven't watered this one in a number of days. I'm not entirely certain that watering it would have helped ahead of time. Might have just made it swell and made it even worse. So I'm just breaking off pieces of plastic now. Let's see. The struggle is real. And I may just end up cutting the pot away, which is what I feel may happen here. Okay, let's just go in with the scissors. And this plastic, even though it's brittle, is a little bit sharp. So I don't want to get too aggressive here and cut myself. How many people would tackle something like this on camera? Goodness. But I think we're making some headway. Maybe if I can get this other side off, it will free itself. There's like a half dozen different ways that this thing wants to just hang on. Okay, maybe now we're getting a little closer. There are pieces of plastic flying across the kitchen. And still, this is completely wedged in here. Rootbound Orchid, and here I thought a paper towel was going to help. Finally, free at last. Oh my gosh. Okay, I do think all the plastic is off now. Completely root bound. Okay, So I feel like I cannot continue until I clean up some of this mess and the pieces of plastic shards all over the place. So let me take a quick break. I'll come back and I'll let you know how we're going to make this easy from this point forward. Okay. Okay, so let's hope that the remaining steps here are easier than the first step was. Okay, so back with a little bit cleaner work area here and a very top-heavy orchid that wants to keep falling over. Okay, so I mentioned earlier we're going to be using the Repot Me Cattleya Imperial Orchid mix with a little bit of extra charcoal added, and we're going to be reusing this pot. Now, you know, a lot of times in repot videos, you will see me wash away the old bark, you know, get a completely bare root system, and, you know, cut off dead roots and do all of that kind of thing. Well, we're not going to be doing that this time. And you can kind of see why. If I were to take this to the sink, it would be extremely difficult to get that bark from the interior of this root system. And I think, in all honesty, in this case, it would end up harming the orchid more than it would actually help the orchid. So we are not even going to touch this. We're going to simply put it in a larger pot so that it can continue to grow from here. So let me just check a little bit for the height that we're going to need. I need probably about half a pot of bark in the bottom. This is a little bit messier than usual because the charcoal is in here and it's making a good bit of dust. So let's see how that does. That actually will be pretty good. Okay. So now it's just a matter of filling in around the edges. Another gigantic mess. The dust from the charcoal is even going to make me cough a bit here in a minute. Excuse me. So if I can talk without coughing, I will give you a few little life updates. In a way, this was a little bit of an emergency repot because we are leaving for vacation tomorrow, and I really did want to get this one outside before we left. So I was kind of hoping that there would be time left to tackle this, and there just barely was. More charcoal dust. I have a feeling that might not be good for my lungs. I have a feeling that there's kind of a part of this orchid that's a little bit higher than the other side, and it's causing a part of the plant to seem like, you know, it's potted at the right height, and then the other side might be a little bit high, but I think that's okay. So we are, believe it or not, driving across West Texas. Like, you know, who would choose to do that? Who would choose to drive across West Texas? We're driving across West Texas to take a vacation in Silver City, New Mexico. We had originally planned to fly to El Paso and then rent a car from there and drive the rest of the way. But then when all of the airport nonsense started and people were waiting in line 6, 7, 8 hours to get through security, we just sort of decided we didn't want to do that. We turned it into a car trip instead. So we're just taking a couple of extra days on either end of the trip, and you know, we're just going to drive, and we plan some stops along the way to enjoy so that we don't kill ourselves with the driving. And yeah, that's what you can do when you're retired, I guess. I remember back in the day when we were both working, you know, you had like X number of days to get your vacation done, and there was like no extra time to be changing your plans. So I suppose that's a perk of being retired. And then my other news, and a lot of people don't even know about this yet, so I guess now maybe a lot of people will know about it. The Orchid Hut is going to be up for sale shortly. We have decided to move. Now, move is kind of relative, right? The move is probably going to be all of about 2 miles from where we are right now. So it's not going to be a change to, you know, how I grow orchids or what kind of orchids I can grow. But, you know, there'll be a little bit of probably a uncomfortable transition, because I'm going to have to figure out how to maintain orchids on the balcony of an apartment probably for a while, and or inside under grow lights. So that'll be a new challenge. And yeah, you know, it's just something you kind of do when you get to retirement. You kind of go, the house is maybe a little bit too much, the yard is definitely a little bit too much, maybe we just need to downsize a little. But I have some grand plans for outdoor orchid growing in the future. So you will have to definitely stick around for all of the things I have in mind for a new orchid hut somewhere down the line. And of course, you know, none of this is probably going to happen overnight. There will probably be quite a few more videos made right here in the kitchen that, you know, we're all used to. But yeah, at some point in the future, we won't be here anymore, and I'll be filming from another location. So it'll all be new and exciting, and a lot of new fun orchid projects down the road because of it. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today for this repot. I think we are done. And the second step was definitely easier, maybe with the exception of the mess that I made. And, you know, if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, please give it a thumbs up. The subscribe button is coming up in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and don't forget that notifications bell to let you know when I've posted something new. Thank you all so much for watching, and talk to you next time.